I know that these humans are the real animals. I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow their house down.
Deep down, white supremacists like the Klan and you are fully aware that whiteness in the United States is not something that needs protecting from people of the global majority, much less black people. You are in danger of becoming the minority because you are reaping what you have sown on stolen land with stolen labor, and that you feel comfortable spreading this garbage is what shows that you already know that we who live in the United States spend all the days of our lives living in the infinite grace of black Americans. Because if black Americans possessed one fraction of the cold-bloodedness and the cruelty and the lack of empathy that would motivate them to commit one fraction of the atrocities that people like you have committed, then chattel slavery and Jim Crow could have never been maintained, because they would have shed as much blood to end it as people like you shed starting it. And the fact that didn't happen is not because they are weak. It is not because they are incapable. It is because they are strong and they repeatedly survive with their humanity and their morality intact, and knowing a depth that a person like you will never be able to conceive of. And you resent it, and that's what you are afraid of. So that's why you engage in race to innocence culture to paint yourself as pure and innocent and in need of protection. But we see through you, and we do not pity your victimhood and your fragility, nor do we fear the seething rage that you try to hide, always bubbling under the surface. We are just disgusted at your lack of ability to do anything other than project your own racism and lack of humanity.
All the saints, even the Virgin, is painted black, you know. Even today, you don't find such paintings in churches, always, a bright color, not black color. So it has to be studied very well, this type of documents. Look, even the evangelist, this is Matthew,
Let's all first agree on one thing, that every Israeli, male or female, young or old, is either an Israeli Defense Force soldier or an Israeli Defense Force Army reservist with his or her weapon and uniform somewhere nearby at all times, ready to fight for Israel. Okay? We agree on that. Now, with that in mind, help me understand. What does it mean when they say Hamas attacked Israeli civilians? What is an Israeli civilian? Thank you.
Well, folks, it's a sorry fucking day and the horizon's not looking real good right now. When we just hear Justin Trudeau stand up and tell people that we're in for a food shortage and an energy shortage here in Canada, you all need to start paying serious attention to what he just said. You know, I wish that I could come on here and make spiritually uplifting videos or something like that. But right now, all I can do is stress to you, get prepared. Pay attention to what they're telling you. We've got Klaus Schwab telling us that we're going to have a cyber attack that's going to kill the internet, the power grid, transportation, and hospitalization. We've got Sleepy Joe down south standing up saying we're in imminent threat of a cyber attack. And now we've got Justin standing up here telling us that we're in for a food shortage and an energy shortage. You've got the guys down in the States saying the same fucking thing. Pay attention. Set the petty bullshit aside. Who gives a shit what the fucking local politicians are doing right now? Start preparing yourself and do the best that you can to prepare yourself to look after others. That's what I'm doing here now. All my plans for this ranch, for a rehabilitation center for horses and for people has changed. And now I see my outdoor riding arena right here, not as a riding arena, but as a community garden so that I can help people who can't help themselves. Please, each and every one of you, pay attention to this video. I love all of you, but we need to band together and we need to start to get prepared because this shit's just starting for all of us. I love you.
Surely, Your Majesty, you're not telling me that the Jewish lobby in the United States pulls the strings of the presidency?
Not entirely, but I think even a little too much, even for Israel interests.
You think the Jewish lobby in the United States is too powerful for the interests of Israel?
I think so. Sometimes they are disserving the interests of Israel because
Explain.
they're pushing around too many people.
How do you mean pushing around?
Well, pressuring, they have many means at their disposal. They are putting up pressure on many, many people. And at the end, I don't think that it will even help Israel.
Why, if this is true, why would the President of the United States pay attention to that lobby?
They are strong.
Strong in what sense?
They are controlling many things.
Controlling what?
Newspapers, medias,
Your Majesty.
banks, finances, and I'm going to stop there.
Well, now wait just a second. You really do believe that the Jewish community in the United States is that powerful? They make the media reflect their view of foreign policy?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They do not report, we do not report honestly?
Don't mix things, please. I don't say the media. I say in the media they have people. Not the entire media. Some newspapers will only reflect their views, yes.
No? The New York Times, for instance, is owned by the Salzburger family, who are Jewish. Are you suggesting that the New York Times is biased in its treatment of the question of Zionism, Israel's existence, the United States' relationship with the Arab world?
I will have to put all the articles of the New York Times written on this subject and draw the conclusion. You can put this to the computer and it will answer you.
What you're saying is that, yes, you do believe.
Well, let's wait for the answer of the computer.
Washington Post?
The same.
The networks?
Less.
I must say you are speaking with your characteristic candor.
Yes, if you like. I try to be candid. I have always been.
He was even-handed in his candor. Next, he turned to the Palestinians.
But that's all right, because we said even before this happened, and we're going to say it after this, and after I'm locked up, and after everybody's locked up, that you can jail revolutionaries, but you can't jail a revolution. Right. You might run a liberator like Eric Cleave out the country, but you can't run liberation out the country. You might murder a freedom fighter like Bobby Hutton, but you can't murder freedom fighting. And if you do, you come up with answers that don't answer, explanations that don't explain. You come up with conclusions that don't conclude. And you come up with people that you thought should be acting like pigs, that's acting like people and moving on pigs. And that's what we've got to do. So we're going to see about Bobby, regardless of what these people think we should do. Because school is not important and work is not important. Nothing's more important than stopping fascism, because fascism will stop us all.
What's 1 times 1?
1 times 1 is 1.
To multiply means to do what? To make more, right?
Yes.
Increase in number?
Yes.
Multiply?
Yes.
How can 1 times 1 equaling 1 be part of the multiplication table? It fails to satisfy the term multiply. It doesn't multiply. Does it? What's an action times an action?
You got some weed.
No, I'm asking you. Honestly, I'm asking you. Reason. Reason. I want you to reason.
I don't know.
What's an action times an action? A reaction. Right?
Okay.
Have you ever seen an action times an action without a reaction? Have you? No. Because equanimity is the currency of the universe. There's always an action times an action having a reaction. So how can 1 times 1 equal 1? How can A times B just be A and not B? What happened to conservation?
Terrence, these are late night conversations.
These are
bro.
These
Yeah,
are.
they are.
This is the beginning of our understanding. It should fit. What kind of calculator you got? What kind of phone you got?
An iPhone?
Okay, go to your calculator.
Whatever the new.
No, go to your
Okay.
calculator. Go to your calculator.
All right. Go to calculator.
Go to your calculator.
Yeah, I
you
got
do too. You got iPhone?
What are we doing?
I want both of y'all to do 2 separate things. I want to do the same thing to start with. Turn it to the side.
Okay.
All right, now I want you to both hit the number 2. Did the whole calculator show up?
Hit number what?
Hit the number 2.
Number 2.
Go to the square root. It is the second column from the left, 3rd row. It'll have that squiggly thing.
All right. 1.4.
1.4142135623730395.
Holy
now
crap.
I want you two to do 2 separate things now. 2 separate things. I want you to multiply it by 2, hit times 2, equal, don't you do it.
Okay.
And I want you to hit x to the 3rd. X to the 3rd, it's going to be...
Times 3?
No, x to the 3rd.
Oh, X. Oh, okay. I see it.
X to the 3rd.
Yeah, I got you. All right. 1.1.
No, you didn't hit x to the 3rd.
Yes, I did.
If you hit x to the 3rd.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
So
I
go
did
back
not.
again.
Okay,
You
so
keep
now
yours where you are.
Yeah, I'm
2,
good.
2
square root, and hit x to the 3rd.
All right. 2.828.
2.828, 4271, 2174, 6190. The same value you got
Yeah.
by multiplying it by 2.
Yeah.
And he just cubed it. Divide it by 2 again. Both of y'all. Divide
it by 2.
No, divide by 2. Hit equal. Now, cube it again. Hit x to the 3rd.
Yeah.
You see that loop?
Yeah.
That's saying x cubed is equal to 2x, which is equal to x plus x. That's an unnatural equation. That's a mathematical fallacy. And that's the beginning of your math. That's how I invented tangential flight, because your math, someone programmed that lie in there and lied to you and everyone, and all your fundamentals are off.
Thing has already started.
It has already started.
Back in the day, it used to cost $50,000. Who knows how much it costs now? If you ever notice a rapper first, everything's fine. Then something goes wrong. They get out of line. They end up in jail. They come back looking totally different. And it's up to us if we're going to let them play in our face, or if we're going to go, that ain't him. And then speaking of they clone Tyrone, isn't Jamie Foxx part of that?
He came out looking. They were like, "Where's the tattoo?
Where's his tattoo on the back of his head?"
They showed a picture of him.
He was in like McDonald's or Wendy's or some damn where. It looked like the clone was just testing itself out. Like, yeah, all right, I'm out. Let's see what's going on. I'm happy to be in the world. It seemed like the clone was literally testing himself out. But my thing is, where was the tattoo in the back of his head? And it just makes you wonder, like, do they do this shit to, like, play with us, to, like, see if we know, to see if we still dumb, to see how many of us are dumb, to see how many of us are brainwashed so they can know how many more to continue to brainwash?
What role in the Middle East, again, does Israel play in this?
Israel was created as the instrument to bring about the Battle of Armageddon and the fulfillment of prophecy, a war that will be so terrible, where nuclear weapons will be used, so that the American citizens and the other people in the world will get down on their knees and beg for no more war. And what is the answer to that? They're going to be told the only way we can guarantee no more war is if we destroy the sovereignty of nations and we come together as one humanity in a one world government.
Right.
Now I'm telling you, unless the American people wake up and stop it, starting in about 1996, the Battle of Armageddon will become a reality.
You people like to say, let's forget, let's not blame anyone. Please stop that nonsense. When the Holocaust happened against the Jews, it was 1940s, 45. Not a single African country other than Ethiopia and those who had not been colonized was free. The first African country got independent 1957. There is not a single Jewish person who will allow you to forget the Holocaust. And in fact, there are crimes, not just in Israel, across the world against denial of the Holocaust. U.S. foreign policy, Israeli foreign policy is very key. It's a central issue. Africans, for some reason, must forget something that happened 50 years ago, if you are Zimbabwe 80 years ago. Listen, we must always remind our friends from Europe and elsewhere that slavery was a crime against humanity, as is colonialism and neocolonialism. That killing Sankara in 1984 because you are opposed to communism and plunging his country into chaos that you are now trying to solve as a problem of poor governance is a shared responsibility. So we will take responsibility for our nakedness. But for goodness sake, a naked emperor cannot lecture us about how to be clothed. Pan-Africanism is not a theory. It's the lived solidarity that made the Ethiopians give Nelson Mandela a passport, that made Senegalese civil servants contribute $1 each every month for the liberation of South Africa, that made Zambia take care of us as Zimbabweans and South Africans as we fought for our liberation, that made Uganda take care of the comrades that now run this country. If Pan-Africanism has no active solidarity action, no active affirmative action, the words are meaningless, because even the devil can quote scripture.
Speaking Creole in the classroom was frowned upon and often resulted in punishment.
When I went to school, there were nuns that came practically from all parts of the country. And we had very few nuns from this area that taught us. Majority of them spoke English. And they had a tough time to break us from it. They used to make us write lines like, I will not speak Creole. And sometime up to 500 to try to break us the habit of speaking it. And that was a very hard, difficult thing for them to stop us from doing. Because when we went back home, we had to speak it. Our parents practically couldn't speak English either.
His mother, Mrs. Agnes Alexander, learned to speak English as an adult. She is still more comfortable with speaking Creole. Did your parents speak Creole?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Did they speak any English at all?
Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
When you talk to your friends, do you speak Creole or English?
Well, mostly Creole.
When you have to call offices to check on a bill or something of that sort, do you have any difficulty in people understanding you, what you're saying?
Not too much. No. Not too much.
If you do have difficulty, are there usually people in the offices that can speak Creole or understand it?
Well, some of it understand it, and some, some of them just speak English instead of Creole, you see. But I started with Creole.
During Jones' youth, speaking Creole was a preeminent qualification for the hiring of teachers. Consequently, few teachers in Creole-speaking parishes had college degrees.
You had teachers who taught school from the Breaux Bridge community, but they were not degree teachers. They were high school graduates. And again, in those days, if you were not bilingual, you could not speak Creole. You couldn't teach the lower grades. You had to be a Creole-speaking individual. So it was sort of a must to select people from the area, irregardless of whether or not they were college graduates or not. And what would happen, you'd go back and finish, or you'd go back and pick up a few subjects, get your certificate, and so forth and so on, and then continue to teach.
When Jones returned to Breaux Bridge as a college degree teacher, the Creole language was an advantageous instructional tool.
Even myself in teaching mathematics, I had to sometimes revert to Creole to get kids to understand or get the point over. And a lot of times, I mean, kids I taught school, they're growing now, but they'll tell you now, oh yeah, I remember how Mr. Jones would discuss geometry in Creole. But I did that on a number of occasions.
As emerald is my color, you must let the dumbasses go. You must not debate, caravan, wagon layer. You must not ride. You must let them go completely. Cut them loose. Trust me. You didn't come here to abstain from purity, to absorb.
John Wayne wouldn't be none side of us. They just didn't take our picture. No, John Wayne and Tim Hope, the Rango Kid, and Gene Autry. Oh no, ain't nothing. We had horses do just what they do. So what? They just didn't put it in the paper. Yeah, they didn't put it in the paper. Oh, that ain't nothing but a show. There ain't nothing to it. Them boys couldn't stick with us. We'd make a monkey out of it. On the pitch shows back there when Durango and Roy Rogers and Tim Hope, all them were playing, you never seen a black cowboy there. I don't know whether they just didn't work them or what, but there was always black cowboys.
Well, I'm black now, so the first thing I did was quit all my jobs. I don't know how I'm supposed to pay the bills. Probably have to start selling crack, or rapping about selling crack. You know, I might not even have revitiligo. Okay, I'm black. What am I supposed to do now?
Phil Schneider's death was ruled a suicide, but it was pretty shady. And before his death, he also corroborated the story of Al Bielek, another government whistleblower. Al Bielek, after being memory suppressed for decades, started remembering having been involved in the Montauk Project, and later came out and said he realized he was born Edward Cameron, and that his memory had been wiped and was forced to live out his life as Al Bielek. Years later, he presented his story at MUFON, stating that the Philadelphia experiment was real, and that it was Nikola Tesla who had discovered how to make a wormhole, which sucked the ship Al and his brother were on, and sent them into the year 2137. He also said that his brother Duncan was born because the military convinced his father to have another child, to live life as a walk-in, to be possessed by a...
With the crown, he's the one with the rings. As Virgil said, only Saturn has the crown. Saturn is the crowned one, the coronado.
Oh my God.
So they work for the crown, they work for Cronus, they work for Satan. The bar, the Jesuits, the Freemasons, it's all one.
What is Satan?
Saturn.
What is that? Is that like an entity? Is it a person, or is it just?
It's just a belief system.
It's
right?
all
Metaphor.
evil entities who do the will of Satan. It's
Satan?
not one entity. No, demons are entities.
Yeah. And what's Satan though? Is Satan the opposite of? Is there an opposite of Satan? That would be God, right?
Yes, it would be. It would be Jupiter, because in the world, in our cosmos, there are 7 planets which make all these frequencies happen, to coagulate and coalesce and make tables, what's solid, liquid, gas and plasma. The 7 planets, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Sun, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn, those 7 which are aligned with your 7 chakras, and that's how you have a body, a subtle body because you have 7 chakras. They are discs. Chakra means disc in Sanskrit, of energy, of light. So you have 7 in you. The colour of the rainbow is in you. The bottom one's red, the top one's blue. Red shift, blue shift.
Red, blue, Democrat, Republican, red, blue.
Red pill, blue pill. Roses, red, violets are blue. Red siren, blue siren. Red tap, blue tap. Because those colours, so your torso is a torus field. You have an aura going around you. It goes in your perineum, in your fontanelle, and out your perineum at the red shift. In here, blue shift. Violet, indigo, blue chakra. So your torso knows about red shift, blue shift.
How do we know that those colors are real? Like, is there like some kind of infrared goggles we could look? Wouldn't that be cool if we could put on some goggles and see all the chakras? Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yes.
How do we know that? What's the proof that they're? You always. I mean, I go to yoga. I see. You know, when I go to the bathroom, they got a chakra chart. Big ass one. I'm taking the league. I'm always looking at that. I'm like trying to remember that shit. Yellow, green, red. How do we know that's real?
Because of the frequency. And they tell you the red chakra has 4 petals in Hindu. They say 4 petals. The orange one above has 6. The yellow one has 10. The green heart chakra has 12. This one has 16. The third eye has 96. Top one, indigo, a violet, has 1,000. When you add all the 6 bottom ones, you come to 144. Thank you, Bible.
No.
Same thing, day after fucking day. What is wrong with the fucking Israelis? What is wrong with them?
Israeli murderers are called commandos. Arab commandos are called terrorists. Contra killers are called freedom fighters. Well, if crime fighters fight crime and firefighters fight fire, what do freedom fighters fight?
You want to hear something interesting? Something that's based upon facts? And I want y'all to think about this. If they sent the Indians from here down to South America, down to the Caribbean, they sent them to Africa, they sent them to France and the UK, then they sent them there. Where are these Native Americans at over there in these countries? I have about 75 disembarkments to other lands, and they weren't eradicated or completely gotten rid of. They're still there, and they still know who they are. So this is for the Native American community that seems to be stuck in absentia. That's all I'm going to say.
That dangerous black person on the plantation who's always going around trying to read something or trying to figure things out, asking questions, trying to figure out how the plantation is run. That is a dangerous Negro on this plantation. Sell him down the river or give him a good whipping and stop him from being curious about serious things. Keep him in the silly mode. That is the category that black people are always supposed to be in. The silly mode, the destructive mode. Don't let them think about anything serious, because then they become a danger.
People, please.
Let me make this clear to black people. Listen, today is what, May 26. Understand, 2025. Black people, let me say this. I don't want to see no black person, no colored person, no underprivileged person. And listen, you know who you are. I don't want to see y'all going against each other no more on social media. This shit is ridiculous. This shit is ridiculous. Black people, I'm talking to you. Brown people, I'm talking to you. Listen, cut this shit out. Don't y'all realize what the fuck is going on in this world and we're still fighting each other? Come on. Come on. It's about time we wake up. What is wrong with y'all? Cut this shit out. I don't want to see no more of that bullshit on this social media. Black people, wake the fuck up.
Put it in the comment section, please.